Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about something called fear-mongering. It's something that I'm seeing with, for lack of a better term, my colleagues in the preparedness, EDC, and gear review communities. And make no mistake, there is a significant amount of overlap with those three communities. Generally, someone has a YouTube channel dedicated to one of those communities. You're going to find quite a few videos also dedicated to the other two. That's just how it is on YouTube. Maybe it's strange, maybe it's weird. But here's something I've noticed lately, and it's the reason why I'm making this video. I've noticed those guys, some of whom are shills, absolutely, they've decided, hey, I need more views. How can I get that? Okay, coronavirus. I know. I'll tell my subscribers, my viewers, how to put together a pandemic kit to deal with it. Really? Really? Okay. Here's the thing, guys. A couple of days ago, the very first case of someone in America dying after being infected with the coronavirus took place in Seattle. That has happened. San Francisco wants to declare a state of emergency. But if you've kept up with the news from San Francisco lately, you'd realize that it would have been appropriate for them to declare a state of emergency even before the coronavirus arrived in America. As of right now, March 2nd, 2020, the only places left on Earth that do not have at least one confirmed case of an individual being infected are Central America, South America, Africa, and the North and South Poles. That's it. And yes, in Italy, a handful of days after the coronavirus arrived there, there was chaos in the supermarkets as shelves were being cleared. There was a video of two Italian men in a supermarket literally getting into a violent fist fight over the last can of beans. This is not a can of beans, it's a can of corn. But I can picture a couple of guys with horrendous levels of fear in their minds and their hearts fighting each other over the last can of dog food. But here's the thing. A lot of what my so-called colleagues are doing, it really is fear-mongering. And I get it. There are a couple who are genuinely trying to help. I get that. There are a couple of guys out there genuinely trying to help. But you don't need to put together a pandemic kit. That's ridiculous. And in fairness, I don't think anyone has gone that far as to call it a pandemic kit. For the most part, especially here in America, things are calm, things are stable. We don't have mass, uncontrolled infection rates. We don't. Is there a possibility things will get quite a bit worse? Yes. Is it a probability? No. And there is a difference. There really is. You don't need a pandemic kit. I mean, it's so ridiculous. There's no reason to engage in fear-mongering. Yes, the coronavirus is here. Yes, it's important to acknowledge it. Yes, it's important to take some precautions. But it's not the end of the world. The things you can do are basic preps. They really are. Having a good supply of disposable N95 masks in case there was an outbreak, that has always existed. Having extra food at home, especially in the form of cans, that's always been around. Having extra rubber gloves or latex gloves, that's always been around. This is basic preps for dealing with contagions, not just the coronavirus. And honestly, my so-called colleagues on YouTube, they are fully 100% aware of that fact. But I guess fear-mongering and views matter more to them. Makes me sick, quite frankly. Here's the thing, guys. Right now, finding disposable N95 masks at brick and mortar stores like Lowe's Hardware, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, they're pretty much sold out. Going online and finding those masks at reasonable prices, forget it. You can find them on eBay, they're going to be at horribly overinflated prices. You know what? If you don't have several at home now, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to pay those overinflated prices. Maybe. Another thing you can do, N95 masks, they don't just come as a disposable variety. They do make reusable N95 masks. All you have to do is change the filter. They make reusable N95 masks. And right now, if you look at how much the disposable ones are selling for, you will probably be better off finding reusable ones. Now, the reusable ones are significantly more expensive. They're like $25 a mask, maybe a little more, but again, they are reusable. And considering what the disposable prices are now, it might be a good idea to definitely take a look at getting a handful of reusable N95 masks. And also rubber gloves, latex gloves, those you can still find at brick and mortar stores. Being careful about going out, avoiding extremely popular, crowded places, also a good idea. And finally, we don't have mass raids of supermarkets by civilians in America. At least not yet, and hopefully it stays that way. Hey, I'm just being honest. Sometimes it doesn't matter how bad the threat is. What matters is how bad people think the threat happens to be. And if your friends and neighbors think that the coronavirus is going to infect everyone in a few days, there will be runs on supermarkets. Something you can do now is every time you go to the supermarket, get a couple of extra cans of food. You don't have to raid the shelves. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to participate in the fear-mongering. Things right now are civil. In New York, you don't have people walking around with masks on, except for the Asian population. but they've been doing that for years now. Most people, they're not walking around with masks on. Things are civil, things are calm. When you head to the supermarket, each time you go there, get a few extra cans of food. Slowly build up your pantry. That way, God forbid if things get worse, you're not going to have to raid the shelves. You're not going to have to get into a fist fight with someone over the last can of beans or the last can of corn or the last can of dog food. These are the things you can do now. You don't need a freaking pandemic virus kit. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Please stay safe.